Hello everyone and welcome now to game 1 in a series between Yumiko versus Th000 here on Turtle Rock. Turtle Rock, one of the classic maps of WarCraft 3. Gonna go ahead and adjust, there we go, adjust all of this so you guys can get this all set up nice and neat for you. In the, what I will call the 3 or 4 o'clock position, Th000 spawning as the purple night elf. Meanwhile, over here on the at the 9 o'clock position, we do have Yumiko spawning as the gray human. Human versus night elf here, and I will mention this again. Yes, Th000 normally does play human, but he does not like the human mirror match. That is why he does transition into night elf whenever he does have a human opponent. And because of that, he brings a lot of human gameplay and a lot of human elements to his particular style of night elf. I wouldn't go as far to say that it is a completely new night elf as the 5th race for Moon, but then again, Th000 has been pretty much on top of the WarCraft 3 world, or at least in that discussion of being one of the best in the world for quite some time. Now, what are we going to see here as things do unfold? It will be an Archmage, most likely, versus... Oh, what is this? Where is... Altar of Elders is being placed very, very late, which would normally mean a Warden. My apologies for not catching that sooner, but with that Altar of Elders being placed down just right now, it looks as though it will be a Tavern hero. Not a Warden, perhaps a Dark Ranger. Dark Ranger, perhaps the most common night elf hero to open up with, just because it is so strong and you can creep so effectively. The problem with the Dark Ranger though is that she is rather mana intensive, and once the human player gets into tier 2 and gets priest with the spell magic, things go from bad to worse rather quickly. Alright, there is one footman. The tavern is now out. The archer gonna get in some easy shots onto that one footman there as the footman just simply runs by. Meanwhile, are we going to see anything coming over here? Meanwhile, we are going to be also seeing some militia creeping coming in. And what is going on? Is it a tavern hero? I would assume so, but I still don't see a hero as of yet. Finally, it is going to be that Dark Ranger. Th000 moving out with a Dark Ranger here as the footman takes a little bit of damage and now makes its way over. Now, this is going to be key. Can Th000 get enough damage and start creeping out quickly enough? If this one Dark Ranger can creep out fast enough, then what are we going to see is just a very strong level 2 Dark Ranger in just a matter of seconds. You can take a look here. Oh, what item will be left behind? It is a Mantle of Intelligence. Fairly nice for a Dark Ranger who is, even though he is or she is agility based, needs to get a lot of intelligence in order to continue to train up these dark minions. Lesser dark minions, 3 of them will be creeping out here up front. You can see things are starting to go in favor of Th000. Th000 is trying to creep out very effectively and very quickly, going after some of the other units, and now gonna go after another Dark Ogre Warrior there. What item has been dropped? Not quite sure yet, as the Forest Trolls are just focusing down all of these units. Yumiko must know about it, so he is gonna be very aggressive and now trying to take down the Gargantuan and Giant Sea Turtles. This is a very aggressive creep race. Normally, I do not like creep races, but this is perhaps one of the most aggressive creep races I've seen in quite some time. We are going to see an engagement here. There is those black arrows now being launched. There is another dark minion there, as the Dark Ranger may get to level 3. Meanwhile, Archmage will be at level 3, picks up a Potion of Greater Mana. Very nice item here. Now, what we're going to see, Th000, is he actually going to try to creep out this red creep camp as the follow-up, or perhaps try to creep out this orange creep camp before moving to the red. He is at, or will be at level 3 in just a second, but needs to be careful now that he does not spend all of his mana. It's all about mana management, as we do see a Tome of Agility +2, a very nice item for that Dark Ranger, +2 attack, essentially. As we now see, oh, this one poor footman down to 106 hit points as he tries to run away. Arcane Towers now being constructed, but will they be up in time? That is an army of lesser dark minions that will get taken down, as the Dark Ranger now moves over, does have +6 attack, add in that Dark Arrow, or Black Arrow, and that is going to be rather deadly. However, the Dark Ranger appears not to be doing any more efficient creeping, just moving over with these minions, and they will all simply be taken down. Meanwhile, let's take a look at this. We are going to have some new dark minions in. These are the level 2 variety. and with that level 2 variety are effective as footmen, essentially. Now, there goes that last Dark Minion there. Dark Ranger now picking up a Slippers of Agility, does have +9 attack, and could perhaps try to creep out. What is going on here? Oh my goodness, this is the first time I've actually ever seen this trick. 2 archers are in the back attempting to take down a gargantuan sea turtle. This is a huge play here just to try and take down these gargantuan sea turtles, get them low on hit points, and that is really abusing the map there. Meanwhile, the Dark Ranger is going to be going after the Ogre Warriors here. You can see that there are a lot of Dark Minions coming over. Meanwhile, a very large coalition of footmen and an Archmage going to be trying to make a bit of pressure in. Oh, Wisp, are they going to be able to detonate in time? Yes, there's one detonation, no experience given. Meanwhile, back down over here, the Dark Ranger gets to level 4 with a Ring of Regeneration. Very nicely done, as the archers are still attacking this gargantuan sea turtle. What's going to be happening next? All right, Squirrel Town Portal now heading back. There's the engagement, and there is a whole bunch of minions there as the Water Elementals will be falling. All right, Water Elemental, where's it going? You can see an Ancient of Lore being built off to the side here. Tho will be forced to cancel that, but is he going to make his way back down over here? It looks as though, yes, there is still a hidden or a shadow melded archer here. So that is a big play. That was the reason why the Dark Ranger got to level 4. As you can now see that the Nightcrawlers are all coming back in once more. Pierupt of Vitality, that Dark Ranger will be very strong and should be able to get to level 5 relatively quickly, if not level 6, and then we will have Charm. Charm is a definite problem there, as we can see that the Dark Minions are going to fall here. This could be a bit of a problem, as the Ancient of War isn't going to uproot itself to let the units in. No, it is not, though, actually wanting to try and trap all of these units. No, he is going to actually let himself in and then reroute himself, most likely, as we are going to see another engagement here. Wisp are trying to come back around. This is looking very strong now. There's so much piercing damage. Priestess of the Moon would be so strong, as another Ancient of Lore now taken down. There goes a Water Elemental. Footman trying to get away. Oh, the Ancient of War didn't root himself in time, and because of that, all the units were able to escape. Poor play, as the Dark Ranger now trying to give chase. Is he going to be able to catch up? Slippers of Agility, Pierupt of Vitality. That Dark Ranger is so strong, as we now see Tho come out with a panda. Oh, Tho, is he going to be able to get off a Breath of Fire? That is the question. It looks like he does get it off, and there goes one footman there, as we now have the Dark Ranger moving back. All right, the problem, only one Ancient of Lore is down. I don't see any more Ancient of Lores being constructed anywhere, as the Dark Ranger now moves to get to level 5. All right, once this gargantuan sea turtle is down, most likely the Dark Ranger will try and back off, as the panda wants to get as much experience as well. Level 2 Breath of Fire on a level 3 panda will be very strong, but Tho decides to keep this Dark Ranger here, tanking a lot of that damage, and that Ring of Regeneration, one of my favorite items for some strange reason in the WarCraft universe. All right, oh, what is this? I like this play. If you did not notice, Tho purposely started training up a Wisp so that Tree of Ages would not beat down that last Water Elemental, giving him experience. All right, coming back around now, we see a rather large army. And is the Arcane Tower going to get taken down? It looks like it may. There is a panda there. The panda does get some arcane feedback and no Breath of Fire. Oh, and a huge block by the peasants. Huge play. Meanwhile, this Arcane Tower already down to 100 and some odd hit points. Is it going to fall? The Dark Ranger now losing a lot of mana. And now here we go. Another fight coming back over here. Archmage is sitting at level 3, has plenty to heal. With a Scroll of Regeneration and a Scroll of Healing. No Scroll of Town Portal. Down goes the Ancient of Wonders. Meanwhile, back down over here, Skeletal Minion quickly gets taken down. What is happening on the far side of the map? Dryad in position, trying to play a little bit of defense, as a second Ancient of Lore suffering a lot of damage. All right, there is some more detonation. Panda now coming in. You never want to be fighting in Night Elf base when there are Moonwells. You can see how much damage is going to be dealt there, as the Archmage will be forced to burn a Scroll of Town Portal. All right, Wisp, Archmage now sitting at level 5, or level 4, excuse me. Dark Ranger sitting at level 5 still. Yeah, sitting at level 5, a little bit closer to level 6, but not by much, as the archers now all forced to pull back here. One footman down here by Yumiko. You can see a Tree of Life being constructed in the center. A lot of places to try and get to level 6. for that Dark Ranger between the main base and the natural. Those are the only options, as you cannot creep to level 6. Archmage continuing this fight here. You can see the Dark Ranger now trying to come in for an engagement. Gonna get some damage onto some of those, onto some of these peasants here. And if the peasants fall, that is gonna be a huge swing, as there is a lot. But what is this? Now we have footmen with defend. There is defend. There is Yumiko. Yes, gonna lose another unit there. There is a scroll of healing, as the Dark Minion takes too much damage in just a short amount of time. Both sides fighting. Water elementals are going to get taken down. What is happening here? The footmen unable to chase because of defend, but they are taking severely reduced damage, as the archers are constantly falling here. All right, water elemental will get taken down. There it goes. This low hit point archer now backing off once more, and it really looks like they're trying to engage at the natural expansion, but Yumiko has been able to brilliantly hold this. Now, Yumiko's transition into mortar teams is very important. He is also going to double Arcane Sanctums, as he wants to be able to heal, and he also wants to get slow. And the slow and the casters will work just because the mortar teams and their fragmentation shards will destroy the dryads from a very far distance, giving even more experience. Now, the problem is still that the Archmage is by his lonesome self with only a level 1 Mountain King who just popped out. Alright, in comes the Dark Ranger. There is some attacks there. It looks like one footman will get taken down. There it goes. And there is now a flying machine as a Stormbolt hits the Dark Ranger from long distance. Alright, oh, Dark Ranger able to slip through ever so barely. And now another, Greater Dark Minion has joined the field. The Greater Dark Minions, essentially footmen that deal more damage, that have less hit points. Very strong here, as there is a flying machine overhead. Perhaps the panda will be able to huff and puff and blow it down, as the Tree of Life now training up some wisp to try and get back into the economic game. So far, supply, we are looking at 46 over 60, 49 over 78. Both sides ready to go. Mortar teams now being added, as we are now getting into another engagement here. Dark Ranger being very gutsy with this move, attempting to take down a gargantuan sea turtle right next to his opponent. There are, however, greater dark minions making their way over and delaying them, as it looks as though the gargantuan sea turtle will get taken down. Potion of invulnerability given to the panda, and that is going to allow him to really go in and huff and puff and blow all of those towers down without taking any arcane feedback damage. That is important. Meanwhile, we are going into weapons or armor upgrades. Meanwhile, the Mountain King is sitting at level 1. Archmage is sitting at level 4. And during this time, I am surprised that Th000 is not creeping. He needs to be creeping. He needs to get this panda to level 4 as quickly as possible. And now that is what he is doing. He's going to be creeping out this top right-hand side of the map, this neck of the woods that is rather far away. Dryads, slow poison, where the rest of the units are waiting to get in here. The Dark Ranger does need to back off. The panda wants to get to level 4, and the Dark Ranger cannot be nearby whatsoever. Experience points will be given. Medallion of Courage, I believe. Yes, +4 strength, +4 intelligence. Exactly what a panda wants, as he gets 60 more mana and 100 more hit points. Very beefy panda now, as a level 4 panda. As a level 4 panda now coming in over here. There is the Troll Berserker getting taken down. I need to take this call, so please excuse me. All right, welcome back, and let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening here. Coming back over here on the top right, top left, we can still see that the Archmage finally gets to level 5, a little bit behind. Meanwhile, the panda is at 4, as I mentioned earlier, and the Dark Ranger is at 5, also with full hit points. I love the Ring of Regeneration. So good in long games like this. Able to regenerate additional 2 hit points a second. Means so much, as we see the flying machine now get taken down. Alright, Archmage is in a little bit of trouble. Sorceress have been added. Mountain King is here. I don't see the mortar teams though, and that is a cause for concern. Without the mortar teams, there's not much that can be done, as we now see more flying machines just trying to do a little bit of flight patterns, but still noticing that the pattern is full up across the map. They are going to get shot down by those dryads. Shoddy construction, if you ask me, if you have a helicopter that can get taken down by spears. But, yeah, what can you do about that? Anyways, let's take a look at what's happening next. we can still see mortar teams. I believe there's 2 mortar teams with 1-0 upgrades. Fragmentation shards have not been completed. We are not at castle. And that means that those dryads will be a little bit stronger. Meanwhile, down over here, how did this... Oh, a flare? Why is there a flare shot over there? Okay, coming across, we now see that the Archmage is going to try and creep out this relatively difficult red creep camp. Mountain King, is the Archmage going to stay nearby? Yes, he will. The mortar teams are now coming in from behind as the Archmage he decides not to back off. He needs to go in with speed, and down goes the Ogre Lord. Item is up here up of Vitality, a Medallion of Courage once more, +4 Strength, +4 Intelligence for both sides, as the archers are now trying to take down the Arcane Vault. Without Ballistas, though, this is going to be rather difficult, and I do not believe Th000 has the right composition of units to really deal with Yumiko. Yumiko has perhaps a better composition of units. The problem is the hero level. Is hero level or is army composition going to come out on top? Dark Ranger does have a Staff of Preservation. We'll be able to save any low hit point unit, send them back, as we are now going into bears. All right, bears, I take it back. Th000 now transitioning into bears, and this will be a huge move, as bears will be able to keep these dryads alive and also add a little bit of tanking for these towers. Meanwhile, Yumiko is going into a mass tower strategy, as we see 4 towers now being constructed. Dryads will be forced to try to engage, but the mortar teams do have farther range. What's going to be happening here? Mortar teams simply shell-shocking all of those dryads. More damage being dealt. This is absolutely huge, as the bears are now coming in. Rejuvenation, Thunderclap, both sides fighting. This is a beautiful battle here, as the Dark Ranger taking up a lot front. Dryads trying to take down the scout towers once more, and give me a second. Alright, quick apology right now, but as you guys know, my wife is 36 weeks pregnant, and anytime I get a phone call from her, I have to take it. Alright, let's get back into the game. Let's go ahead and take a look. Mountain King does have a potion of invulnerability now coming in, and also the Druid of the Cloud Militia now coming in all the way from home, as the guard tower looks like it will be constructed in time, but it is not being repaired. It needs to be repaired. There it goes, as we now see the Scroll of Town Portal coming away for Th000. Th000 will be able to get back. Is the Dark Ranger? Yes, the Dark Ranger is in fact close enough, and will be able to head back here. Meanwhile, one poor Ancient of War trying to hide in the trees. Yeah, a tree hiding in a tree. You would think that would normally work. Hiding a tree in a forest doesn't work when the tree has eyes and can move. All right, let's take a look at what's going back on over here. Th000 taking an absolute beating in that last fight, 53/80 compared to 79/84. And this is really what I meant, and what I was talking about in terms of unit composition. Yumiko has better unit composition, even though his heroes were at lower levels. Taking a look now, Panda sitting at 4. Where is the Dark Ranger? Dark Ranger is, the Dark Ranger didn't fall, did she? No, there's the Dark Ranger. Come on, the Dark Ranger's hiding behind a bear, sitting at 5 2/3. Coming across, we are now seeing Yumiko set up more towers, more arcane vaults, and this is also just for fast ivory towers. Fast ivory towers, 3 ivory towers all over or sets of ivory towers all over the place will cause problems, as another ivory tower does get placed down. That scout tower now in position. Mountain King does not have any more, as the Archmage doesn't have any more. This arcane vault will have enough in just a second. And what are we still having here? So far, this is the slow tower push into your opponent's base strategy, and oh, we're actually gonna see towers come up inside here, or perhaps launch in there. There you go, anti-magic shell. Bears now trying to engage. This is not a good fight, as there's spellbreakers. So much of a good front line. The bears now trying to go away. Staff of Preservation not being used to save that low hit point bear for some strange odd reason. Mass slow across the bears with no dryads to dispel the magic. This is so good right now for Yumiko. Yumiko, an absolute beast with level 4 Mountain King, and he is now tied up the hero levels. Alright, bears now being forced to retreat once more. Mass bears normally is something to be afraid of, unless you are fighting in tight corridors with spellbreakers, mortar teams, sorceress, priest, water elementals, and towers behind you. Coming back around, we are at Tree of Eternity, obviously, because of Bears Dryads now being added, as the mortar teams are going to start shell-shocking from far away. Yumiko doing this slow tower push, moving home field advantage. Mountain King has a couple of ivory towers as well. And here we go. The bears are coming back in for another round. Not going to work, though, as the sorceress will be able to cast a lot of slow Archmage with Brilliance Aura, making that a near impossible, as Th000 is having a difficult time trying to even catch up to the units. Bears low on hit points. No, Bear does not get taken down, but that one does by a tower. This one may get taken down by a tower as well. Alright, how much damage is being dealt? Panda now being forced to back off, unable to use Breath of Fire effectively, as triple Water Elementals quickly fall. Only one left, as the Dryads were able to abolish magic. Alright, Spellbreakers 1-2 upgrades. Mortar teams are at 2-0 upgrades with a Roar being stolen off of those bears, I believe. And Roar on a mortar team, absolutely dangerous against those Dryads. Dryads relatively low on hit points, down to 435. Coming back across here, we can see that there are guard towers still being constructed off what is going to be happening next. Back over here as well, we are going into level 2 weapons upgrade, so 2 Spellbreakers will be coming in momentarily. Yumiko still moving forward with this army and still building scout towers. Staff of Teleportation coming over, as yes, was being upgraded, and apparently, not a Staff of Teleportation, Mass Teleport. Yumiko now in the lead. Alright, Dark Ranger sitting at level 5 still. There is the Abolish Magic once again taking it down, as the guard towers need to get taken down, and in a hurry. Oh, beautiful anti-magic potion just in time, as the mortar teams are missing their targets. Do we see fragmentation shards? Bears now being forced to back off again. Staff of Preservation saving, but this is not looking good. The Fairy Dragon, will it be able to do enough? Perhaps take down all of these casters. Only 2 sorcerers and 2 priests, but that is more than enough, as the scout towers are still being built forward. This is huge. 4 mortar teams pushing forward. The Tree of Life now trying to get away. The Shell Shocking now coming in, taking down the Wisp. The Wisp now trying to get away as well. As where is this Tree of Life going to travel to? Here we go. Bears, Fairy Dragons, Dryads, Stormbolt on the Panda. There is that Fairy Dragon, and there is the engagement. However, there are flying machines already up and ready to go. And here we go. There's the engagement. Mountain King dealing a lot of damage with that Thunderclap. Also, the Dryad's actually going to get splatted here in just a moment. There it goes again, as the Mountain King comes in with a Thunderclap once more. This has got to be the end. Yumiko's Mountain King gonna get to level 5. There it is. Level 3 Stormbolt. There goes another bear. And without overextending, he is now just going to be trying to push and hold this center expansion location. Yumiko now running off of 2 bases compared to Th000's 0. And all Th000 can really do is throw everything that he has at these towers and hope it works. Dark Ranger is at 6, but will it matter? Perhaps if he steals enough Spellbreakers, that could make a difference. Coming back around, Ancient of Lore is still training up more Dryads. Panda now coming back over. Panda sitting at level 4. Can it get to level 5? Footman is over here, and we can see that the Tree of Life is now making its way over as well. Th000 needs to get gold, and quickly. Meanwhile, slow poison onto that Footman. The Footman is defending, but you can see that the Panda has arrived, and we will be getting to level 5 on that Panda here. Level 6, level 5 versus level 6, level 5. Ultimate for both sides. But what is going to be happening? Staff of Sanctuary. There goes the Archmage. Or there goes a Moonwell, as the Archmage now moving forward. Invisible Footman now coming in. Dryads now making their way over, as they are all getting a little bit caught up over here. Where is that Dark Ranger? The Dark Ranger needs to steal some units in order to switch things around, and there is the Spellbreaker. Spellbreaker is seeing that 0-0 upgrades, as he does change allegiance over here. Meanwhile, let's see what's going to be happen. Can the Dark Ranger perhaps make this game go long enough so that he can steal the entire army of his opponent? I don't think so, but that would be absolutely cool if that did in fact happen. Let's take a look at this. Tree of Eternity now trying to come in and engage. Bears are over here, but Th000 does not really stand much of a chance. There is all of those mortar teams splashing so much damage. Those fragment, or all of that splash damage from that siege attack, dealing so much damage there. There goes another bear as it gets taken down. Tree of Eternity, another Spellbreaker changing allegiance once again, and this is huge. Mountain King now being silenced, and the Mountain King unable to do very much of anything. All right, Tree of Eternity now being forced to eat some trees to gain some life. Dark Ranger isn't going to be able to do much of anything as you see a Drunken Haze. Are we going to see a Breath of Fire? No Breath of Fire, as there is too much, what's it called? Oh, there's the mana. Are we going to see a Breath of Fire? There you go. Both sides still fighting this out. Are we going to see Dark Ranger? Dark Ranger now trying to take down these units here as the Tree of Eternity does fall. And there you go. Mass Teleport now trying to get away as one Spellbreaker does survive here. All right, Tho now doing that tree walk, teleporting into Tho's base here. And a beautiful play, sneaking a footman here in order to take down the last base. And there is the GG. Tho loses game 1. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 1. Please stay tuned for game 2.